Hey, what's going on, guys? So next up, we're going to go to probably my biggest collection, which is the PS4. Part of the reason why this is so big is because I do have a lot more games that were remasters and remakes, and some stuff I didn't have on PS3, I have on PS4, and so on and so forth. So, like a lot of those games, you probably, if you watch my PS3 video and you're like, wait, you don't have that, what are you talking? What's going on? I probably have them here, so... Anywho, we're going to go ahead and start with the Final Fantasy X and X-2 remaster. I do have this one. I know I didn't show it in my PS2 version, retrospect or collection video because I have the PS4 version, and it's fantastic. Well, Final Fantasy X is, I haven't touched X-2 because I don't care, but Final Fantasy X is an amazing RPG. My second favorite Final Fantasy, honestly. It was really good. And then we have one I have not spent much time. Excuse me. One I have not spent much time on at all. Holy crap. Final Fantasy 14. That was weird, I'm sorry. But I haven't spent much time on it yet because I just don't have the extra money for a paid subscription for a game. One day. And then we have a game that I know not a lot of people really like. I think it's okay. Final Fantasy 15, the Royal Edition. It was alright, I mean. It could be worse. But now we have a big one, and one I was super duper excited for, and it did not disappoint me whatsoever. And I actually do have the special edition Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yes, I know it only goes through Midgar, but it was so amazing. Like, oh man, I love this game. I actually just recently replayed it on the integrated version of the PS5. It's still such a good game, and I actually do have the deluxe edition as well. I actually got this on Easter Sunday last year, because that's when the pandemic really started, and there was a delay in my shipment, but Amazon had it at my house on Easter Sunday, and my friend was over, and I was installing my PS4, and he's like, I see you're jonesing, Frankie. I see you're jonesing. I'm going to go so you can play your game. And I was like, thanks, man. But excellent, excellent game. Now, some of you might have been wondering whether or not I have these games because I didn't show them in my PS2 collection or PS3. You might have been, I don't know. But I do have the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 to 2.5 Remix HD collections. I'm not the hugest Kingdom Hearts fan, I'll be honest with you. I think they're all up their own asses and very convoluted, but Kingdom Hearts 2 is really good. And then I also have the 2.8 Final Battle Prologue, I think is what it's called. Final Chapter Prologue, yep. And then, of course, Kingdom Hearts 3. Which I know not a lot of people really cared for, but it is what it is. And one I haven't played yet, Dragon Quest XI. The only Dragon Quest games I've played are 1 and 2. So, who knows? Now this game is fantastic. One of the best on the console, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is really good. I didn't mention this. Final Fantasy VII, I actually did. I have Final Fantasy VII on PS5 also. I also have the PS5 version of this. And it's really good. It's probably my favorite superhero game. Incredible game. Incredible game. If you're a Spider-Man fan, you should have that. This game, not so good. Not so good. Avengers. Yeah, no, this one... You turned Avengers into Destiny? Like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you turn Avengers into a loot collecting game? That's just bad. Give me a story-focused Avengers game. And I was hoping that's what that was going to be, and it just wasn't. Now, Batman Arkham Knight. I actually really loved Batman Arkham Knight. I know a lot of people don't care for the Batmobile so much. I didn't mind it. I actually thought Arkham Knight had a lot of improvements over Arkham City in terms of the combat. And I thought Arkham Knight was a very, very good game and a very well-made ending to the franchise. And then I didn't mention this one in my PS3 overview because I have this version. Injustice Gods Among Us, the Ultimate Edition. Yeah, so this is the version of Injustice I have. And Injustice is great. It's a really good game. I don't think it's as good as Mortal Kombat in general, but I think Injustice is really good. Injustice 2 I thought was much better than Injustice 1, especially graphically. Graphically, this game looks really good. But Injustice 2 was fantastic. And then we got Mortal Kombat X. Mortal Kombat X was a really good fighting game. I personally thought MK9 was a little bit better, but MKX is still really good. MK11 is also really good. NetherRealm was knocking it out of the park with all their fighting games. Yeah, but no, Mortal Kombat 11 was next level. I also have the PS5 version of Mortal Kombat 11. So, really great, really great. Next up, we got one of the best video game remakes ever made. One of the best horror games ever made, Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 Remake is amazing. Amazing. I loved it a lot. I liked it a lot more than the original game, honestly. This is really, really good. Next up after that, we have, of course, Resident Evil 3. I don't know why they dropped the Nemesis subtitle in the remake, but they did, and it's just Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil 3 is not as good as Resident Evil 2. Honestly, it's just not. Despite the fact that I like Nemesis more than Mr. X, Resident Evil 3 is just not as good to me as Resident Evil 2. It's not that it's bad. It's actually really good. It's just not as good. Now we have a game that scared the hell out of me. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. This game is terrifying. And I actually haven't had the balls to sit down and finish it because it scares the piss out of me. I'll get to it one day. Next up, I actually do have Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2 for Dragon Ball, but I have them both downloaded, so I don't have physical copies of that. What I do have a physical copy of, though, is Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dragon Ball FighterZ is a really, really good game. And it's probably the best Dragon Ball game. If you're a Dragon Ball fan and you're a fighting game fan, buy that game. And then I, of course, have Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which I actually thought was great. This is something I've wanted from Dragon Ball for a while, like the ability to fully explore the areas and fight enemies and stuff. I'm glad we finally got that experience. And now this is one that I did not mention in my PS3 collection because I have this. I used to have the PS3 versions, but then this came out, so I sold them. Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection. So it comes with Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2, and Uncharted 3. Uncharted is a fantastic series. Fantastic series. And yes, I did play them, and I think they're all good. Uncharted 2 is my favorite, personally, but they're all great. All three of them are fantastic. And then I also have Uncharted 4, which I need to sit down and finish. I started it, and I just never put time in to finish it, but it's great from what I've played of it. Here's another one that I actually never had the PS3 version of this. I only have the PS4 version, so this is a PS4 game to me, but The Last of Us Remastered. The Last of Us was great. An amazing, amazing, amazing game. To the point that I fucking hate the sequel. I did not like Last of Us Part 2 at all, honestly. It actively made me mad. Why? 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 Why did they make this game the way they did? Anyway, next up is the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I do actually have Crash 4, but I was babysitting my cousin's dog. This is a true story. I was babysitting my cousin's dog, and I was gone for a couple of hours, and I had the disc out, so I was playing through it. And the dog chewed the case to pieces like 3 days after I got it. So... But I do actually have Crash 4. So, no, I didn't ignore Crash 4. I do have Crash 4, but I don't have a case for it right now. But Insane Trilogy was great. I was so happy that they remade my childhood games. It's like they made that for me, specifically. Just like they did with Spyro. So Spyro's the same thing. It's a remake of 1, 2, and 3. And they're all really fun. Now this one I didn't grow up with at all. I was never really interested in it. And I really only got this because I like the idea. I want to support these old games coming back. So Medieval. Never really got into Medieval, but I was happy to support the remake. Speaking of supporting remakes, Ratchet Clank. A lot of people seem to hate this one. Why? I thought it was really good, honestly. I don't know, your mileage may vary on that one, but I thought Ratchet and Clank was great. Continuing on the remake train, Shadow of the Colossus. This is a fantastic game. When I first played it when I was younger, I couldn't really get into it. And then I tried it again when I was older, and I fell in love. Shadow of the Colossus is a fantastic game. All boss battles, but it's really good. And then there's The Last Guardian, which I haven't really sat down and played, so I can't really comment on it. But I wanted to support it because it finally came out, so. So here's one I need to sit down and play. I was really excited for it. I got it. I played a little bit, and I just haven't touched it. Horizon Zero Dawn, Complete Edition. I've heard really good things about it. I probably will get the sequel. I'm going to sit down and play it one day. Next up, we have Tekken 7. It's not a bad game, by any means. But it's also not my favorite Tekken game. But it's pretty good. I thought it was better than 6 and 4, if that says anything. Then there's Soul Calibur 6, which I could not get into for the life of me. I tried, I played it for a little bit, wasn't feeling it. Here's another one I haven't really played yet, but I heard good things about it, so I picked this up at a sequel at the exact same time. Dishonored, the Definitive Edition. I've heard good things about Dishonored, I just haven't sat down and played it yet. And same thing with the second one, Dishonored 2. I just haven't sat down to play it yet. Now this one, I have sat down and played all the way through, and it's amazing. God of War was so good. I cannot wait for Ragnarok, if that's what it's called. Now this, I have played. Again, I didn't mention this in my PS3 collection because I have this version, but the Bioshock Collection. Bioshock is great. All three of them are great. And I loved Bioshock. The first one. 2's not as good, but it's still really good. Then Infinite's a whole nother beast. But I personally quite enjoyed it. And then after that we have Devil May Cry, the HD collection. So this is 1, 2, and 3. And 1 is really good. 3 is really good, too. There's another one I need to sit down and actually play. Because I've heard such good things about it, and I just haven't had time to touch it, or I just haven't devoted any time to it. But take your pick on that one. Monster Hunter World. I have friends who love it. I just haven't touched it yet. Now, next up is a game I completely fell in love with. Tomb Raider. I never really played Tomb Raider, ever. And so I, on a whim, just got this one, and I thought it was fantastic. I'm really, really happy I played this. It's so good. And so is Rise of the Tomb Raider, the sequel. This might actually be better to me. But it's amazing. I have not played the third one yet, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But it's probably another series I'm going to just go through all of them. But they're great. This game I have played all the way through, and it's great. I never played the first one, but I did play the second one, Darksiders 2. Darksiders 2 was awesome. I thought Death was really cool. The world was really cool. And it's a lot of fun. This one, I don't even know why I have. But I do. Disney Infinity. I was never really big on the Toys to Life thing. I think my family got it for Christmas because the Avengers set had just come out. So they were like, "Oh, Avengers. Yay." He likes the Avengers, which I do. But, I mean, it was a nice idea. I don't fault them for it, but, you know. And now we get on to... I mentioned this in my PS3 video. I don't know why I keep buying them. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. This was actually my first PS4 game. Because I got the PS4 the day it came out, and I needed a game, so... Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. This is actually the best one, though. This one's actually pretty good. Unity's garbage. And Syndicate's garbage. Now, I used to have both of these on 360. And I had one on the PS3, and now I have this version. But this version is the best version of both of these games. The 10th anniversary of Bayonetta and Vanquish bundle. I love both of these games so very much. Vanquish especially. The Bayonetta is amazing too. Vanquish is amazing. They're both fantastic games. And you're not going to go wrong with either one of them. Just get this collection. And then we got Dying Light. It's another zombie game. Yay. It's not bad, but it's not super amazing either. Next up, we have a game. Again, I have not really sat down to play it yet. And I thought about getting it for a while, and I just kind of bit the bullet and got it. My friend kind of convinced me to. Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen. I don't know much about this one yet, but one day. Then last but not least, this game is also fantastic. And I think you'll really like it. South Park: The Fractured Butthole. Make of that name what you want to, but just like the original Stick of Truth, this is great. The gameplay is a lot better than the Stick of Truth, but I thought the writing was a bit better in the first game. But this one's still great. So that's it for the PS4 collection. I know that was a lot. I have a lot of PS4 games, but PS4 was, I thought, a great console, and I thought it was the better of the two of that generation. You'll see when we get the Xbox One. The ratio's insane, but that's going to be it for the PS4 collection video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.